is a very strong tool for any government. It's in Africa where it's not given, that much attention. But parliamentary diplomacy is a very, very strong tool. So we have agreed as a leadership that we are going to put more effort in parliamentary diplomacy so that we can be complementing government diplomacy. So you're going to see us engaging more. One of the discussions I've had with Her Excellency is that we should see a way the Parliament of Sweden would partner with the Parliament of Uganda to see how we can support each other. Yes, Honorable Naruima. Then Honorable Riab, I conclude with the government chief.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, also through you, allow me also to appreciate Her Excellency, and on this note also appreciate the Swedish government. I'm among the beneficiaries. During the time when I was in local government as the vice chairperson of Wakiso district, and that moment they had a program, the Swedish government had a program, and it still exists under its International Center for Local Democracy. We have exchanges. And between the years 2015 to 2017, I am among those Ugandans who were able to go for the program of women in politics, capacitating women in politics. And today, as we speak, the skills I gained there and the other skills elsewhere, we are part of those trainers of the different local governments in the East African region. Many times, even up to this day, I'm still called upon under our body of the ICLD, the International Center for Local Democracy, the East African Alumni Group. Now we are able to train other local leaders in the East African region. So I want to appreciate the Swedish government because it's having that program, and we are seeing many other Ugandans and many other East Africans, the training it has put forward, and that other link we have. We thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eriab.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the Swedish government for ably transforming this country, and in particular, they have a volunteer program. They normally send volunteers to Uganda, and those volunteers, they normally come for 1 year, and after 1 year, some of them remain in Uganda. And in this particular case, I want to thank a lady from Sweden called Emma. She went to Kabale, started an organization, and that organization has helped to transform street children in Kabale district. On that note, I want to thank you sincerely, and I pray that the Almighty God continues to bless you as you even transform other districts. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Government Chief Whip. Maybe before Government Chief Whip, let me allow Lop.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to join you and the House to indeed congratulate Her Excellency Maria Hansok. I hope I pronounced the name right, for her tour of duty. As you have mentioned, Uganda has got very strong relationship with Sweden, a historical one, actually, dating back to many years ago. Our current head of state and his family sought refuge in Sweden many years ago when it was hot for him in Uganda. So the habit of politicians seeking refuge in countries elsewhere has not just started. So he sought refuge in Sweden and his family, and they took good care of him. There's a lot to learn from Sweden, Mr. Speaker. The human rights record of Sweden is an impeccable one. They've got a robust constitutional infrastructure which they follow to the letter. And that should be a good lesson for us in Uganda. We should not only benefit from the aid that they give us, we should also benefit from lessons such as their modus operandi in as far as human rights is concerned, respect for the rule of law is concerned, we should pick those lessons and implement them. We wish you well on your next tour of duty.
Thank you, Lord. Government Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable, I am speaking as the former Minister for Health, but also someone who worked very closely with Her Excellency, the Swedish Ambassador. Allow me to start by congratulating her upon completing her 5 years tour of duty, and also for the very good and cordial working relationship that I had in my 5 years as Minister for Health when she was the ambassador. I want to appreciate the Swedish government for their selfless partnership and contribution to the health sector. They were so passionate about maternal health, and many of you are aware that our indices of maternal health have greatly improved, with maternal mortality now down to 189 per 100,000 live births, a big reduction in child mortality and neonatal mortality. I also would like to appreciate them for giving scholarships to our students from Makerere University. Right Honorable Speaker, one of the apps, the software apps that is used in immunization for collecting data in the Ministry of Health was developed by Karolinska University with great participation from our own students. I was able to visit the university, interact with those who developed the app, and also our own students. I will not conclude without appreciating the Swedish government for their great contribution during times of outbreaks. And in the last 5 years, we've had quite a number, and they have contributed financially to ensure that we nip these outbreaks in the bud before they spread to the entire country. So as she begins a new tour of duty in Riyadh, I want to wish her well and to let you know that I will personally miss you, and I'm sure the health sector will miss you as well. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you, Government Chief Whip. We are lucky her replacement has been on tour in Uganda, tour of duty in Uganda 3 times. So I'm very sure we shall continue. Thank you, Your Excellency Maria. I've not been able to honor some of our good friends, for example, Her Excellency Frederica of Netherlands left, but we are going to be interacting with her more because she's going to be heading the African department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Netherlands. So many of them have supported us. Team Europe has been one of our greatest partners. They've stood by us in the most difficult times. I've seen some of the countries which have said don't go to Uganda because of Ebola. They are not even half of Team Europe. But in the European Union, you know, the European Union has said no, Uganda is safe for people to travel. So we really want in a special way to thank the European Union for that. Great cooperation and consideration. Colleagues, delegation of students from Kitara Students Association of Kampala International University Main Campus. They've come to observe proceedings of Students Association of Kampala International University Main Campus. They've come to observe proceedings of this house. Colleagues, please join me in welcoming them. Who will be today evening. I urge all of you, this is not an Ishorican chaplaincy. Today evening, I urge all of you, this is not an issue of the Anglican chaplaincy. This is not an issue of the Anglican chaplaincy. It's for all of us. It's an honor to have the Archbishop coming here to be with us. It will be in the conference hall. So I will request all of you to
Rwenzori Marathon, one of the most viable sporting occasions in our national calendar, and this year's edition will bring participants drawn from close to 45 countries to Uganda. It is,
and I want to repeat, we gave you enough time. So, Sergeant at Arms, please go check any committee that is sitting. I need their session closed. We need ministers here. Thank you. And if they don't, I would send Honorable Tebandike to arrest them, to carry out some arrests on my behalf. Please, please go on. And whips, please, Chief Whip, Opposition Whip, please inform. Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker, it is a platform for talent identification, a showcase for tourism, an opportunity for enterprise in Rwenzori region and beyond. I therefore wish to place before this House the scale of this year's event, the support government has extended, and the wider value we expect it to return to the country. Right Honorable Speaker, the Rwenzori Marathon now commands a considerable international attention. It's projected that more than 10 million people around the world will follow this year's edition, and I think we need to clap for that, because having a viewership of 10 million people is not easy. Last year, the event attracted 18,000 visitors from 36 countries, 6,000 runners of whom will be Central Education and Sports extends its sincere appreciation. Is not easy. Last year, the event attracted 18,000 visitors from 36 countries, 6,000 runners, of whom Education and Sports extends its sincere appreciation to Mr. Amos Wekesa. I don't know where he is. If he's here, we really need to thank Mr. Amos Wekesa. To all the partners and stakeholders have a particular power to inspire, to unite people, and speak to the young people in a language they understand. It draws visitors and with them demand for goods and services in communities that host them. The economies of Uganda and the world. Right Honorable Speaker, mass participation of this kind encourages ordinary citizens to take up physical activity for their health and for social good, and follows from it. Athletics is particularly suited to this purpose. It embraces track and field, cross-country, mountain trail, and road running. It tests strength, agility, endurance, and it can be organized on almost any terrain, on any surface, from the tartan and the alphats to the grass and unpaved grounds. Kasese municipality lies at an altitude of about 1,000 meters above the sea level, slightly lower than Kampala, as at 1,250 meters. The terrain permits road events of that standard: 5, 10, 15 kilometers, half marathon, and 21 kilometers, and the full marathon of 42.195 kilometers. I should note for the record that an event may properly be described as a marathon only where it includes either half or full distance. Anything below that, it's a road race. Right Honorable Speaker, the demand of the course means that Rwenzori Marathon is not primarily a contest for the record times. Its strength lies elsewhere. Its numbers draws in the participation of local athletes and of our visitors who combine the race with tourism, the Rwenzori, and it exposes and bring the exposure it brings to the region. Right Honorable Speaker, only 3 of our regions offer the conditions for the full range of athletics events: Elgon, Rwenzori, and Kigezi. Of this, only Elgon has developed into an area producing world champions and record holders. I repeat, only Elgon has developed into an area producing world champions and record holders. The Rwenzori and the Kigezi regions have a strong history in long distance running and once produced the finest distance runners in the country, but the standard has declined. In Rwenzori and in Kasese in particular, the decline owed much to the insurgency of the early 2000s and to the absence of a structured system for identifying talent. With peace and stability restored, it is possible, and I want to say, it is possible. We must rebuild and rebrand the Rwenzori to produce the best athletes of this country. With the Rwenzori Marathon offers a foundation on which to do so. The benefits would extend beyond sports, tourism, investment, and to the general development of the districts and to the region. Right Honorable Speaker, Mount Rwenzori is not much about running, it's about opportunity. It is about giving our young people, our athletes, creating markets for businesses, promoting tourism, and demonstrating that Uganda can compete on international sporting stage. Let us therefore make 22nd August a national celebration of sport, talent, tourism, and enterprise. Let us go to Kasese. Let us run for Uganda. Let us invest in talent, and let us showcase the Rwenzori to the world. On behalf of the government of Uganda and the Ministry of Education and Sports, we remain committed to promoting sports in Uganda, and the Rwenzori Marathon is not exception. I therefore appeal to all of us honorable colleagues to join us on 22nd to participate in the Mount Rwenzori Marathon. I say all this for God and my country. I welcome you to Mount Rwenzori Marathon. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, this statement is not for debate. Yes, it was for information purposes, but I will allow 3 people. I will allow the host MP, Kasese Municipality, the woman MP for Kasese, and Honorable Sowed Kasese, and then finally Honorable Julius Achon, because he's our coordinator for the whole team and athletics ambassador. These are these are issues real of fitness, of running properly. I doubt whether Honorable Zambari will be Brazil. I will allow Brazil as a shadow minister. Okay, but if I don't see him in Rwenzori, it will be trouble. Yes.
Thank you.
Just 2 minutes each.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. For the record, Kambale Ferigo. I'm the Member of Parliament for Kasese Municipality. I'm the MP who is going to host all of you. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me first and foremost to appreciate you in particular for having embraced Rwenzori Marathon. My records are already clear. You are among the runners on 22nd of August. I really want to thank you for that. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister of State for Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, for having embraced this marathon. You have had government support to the marathon, over 3 billion shillings. This is not a simple contribution. I want to thank the Minister of Sport for embracing this marathon. Colleagues, Rwenzori Marathon is one of the world label marathon as we talk. And in Africa, we have around 7 world label marathon. This marathon has now taken the whole country to the world. And it has brought the whole world to Uganda. So when we talk about Rwenzori Marathon, it's not something small. You have had more than 45 countries are coming to participate. We are the host. It wouldn't.
I think you ended on the right note. You're the host.
Yes.
Okay? And we are ready to come. Please host us well. Honorable Sarah Itungu. Oh, Honorable, we don't have time.
I'm summarizing. And that in order to embrace the marathon, me personally as the host, Member of Parliament, I have decided to invest in having a TV station in Kasese called Rwenzori TV. It's now on Star Times channel 505. It's going to broadcast this event live for 3 days, starting on 19th, 4 days, 19th, 20th, 21st, then 22nd.
Thank you. Yes, I think clerk has to prepare an invoice for that advert. During
Thank
prime
you,
time.
Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Sarah Itungu Masereka, commonly known as the Mountain Girl because of tourism promotion, and I am the woman MP for Kasese District. Firstly, I would like to appreciate the Minister for the very wonderful presentation and for mobilizing MPs to come to Kasese for the Rwenzori Marathon and for mobilizing Ugandans to come to Kasese. Thank you very much. I would also love to thank him and the ministry and Uganda for the 3.8 billion that has been invested to the local runners. We have mobilized the local runners and we hope that they will get this money as we are in Chisanja, no more corruption, Chisanja, no more sleep. Now, I would request two things. Just like the minister said that Kasese was disturbed in the 2000s because of instability, we lack a facility for training. Would love to submit to the Ministry of Education to support us with training our runners so that we also be record breakers. And the second one is to consider a facility, loan or grant for the investors in tourism in Kasese, just like they have done for the AFCON, so that we have more hotels, more rooms for our visitors, because we do not have enough for the whole world, and we expect the whole world to come to Kasese, and we are very happy, so we want to prepare for you. So I submit to the Ministry of Tourism and Education to consider Kasese investors, specifically the tourism investors, for that facility. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sawed.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the Rwenzori Marathon. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to begin by thanking government for the support it has invested in the Rwenzori Marathon. And in particular, I want to thank the Ministry of Education and Sports, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, the Uganda Tourism Board, and also the Ministry of Works. For those of us who will come to Kasese, particularly in the municipality, you are going to appreciate that WUSMID did very good work. Right Honorable Speaker, in my culture in Kasese, when people give you good things, you thank them, but you ask for more. Right Honorable Speaker, Kasese is well known for tourism, and we still have tourism roads that have been surfacing in the manifesto of NRM, and they are also appearing in the Uganda Development Plan 4. Right Honorable Speaker, the request I am making is that some of these tourism roads, for example, Ngenda Nyakalengijo and Mubuku Nyakalengijo roads, it should be tarmacked, so that the next marathon now, we are able to have people running not only in one direction, but also in many directions of the district, and they can now experience the Rwenzori mountain. They can go back to tell everyone that it was.
Thank you. Honorable Chon.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And first of all, I would like to thank people of Kasese and Mr. Amos Wakese. We have been in touch. What I wanted to say, I would advise honorable members, on 22nd, that's next Saturday, I would appeal to everybody, let us go and walk. It's not a matter of running. You can walk, still you get a different. Honorable Speaker, sports has made a difference in this country. I would like to correct the minister. You know, the first medal in Uganda was from later John Akibwe, 1972 Olympics. In 1994, I was 17 years old. The first gold medal I won without shoes in Portugal, Lisbon. You should correct that. I bought shoes because our country was still not yet interested in sports. But I bought shoes from Kenya, and then I won a medal. In 1995, I was number 3 in Africa, in Zimbabwe, Harare, in all African Games. So take a note of that, Honorable Minister. A year 2005, year 2007, Dorcas in school from West Nile, she brought this country on the map. And her stadium, or the stadium will still, we are waiting for it. No, so, Honorable Speaker, sports has made things, you know, we use sports as a tool to come from poverty. If you look
No, Honorable Chon, I assigned you to coordinate and register members to, how do they, have you registered some? Have you worked out a desk? Can we put a desk at the front, you know, just at the front here? So
yes, right, Honorable Speaker, that's what I'm appealing to, Honorable Member. Please, forum there, I always send, let us register. I will run the 10 kilometer, there's a 5K, there's a 10K, there's a 21 kilometer, which is a half a marathon. And you will come back with a lot of different when you compete on that day, Honorable Members. So please, let us all register, we go, and the Speaker would find out how do we transport Honorable Members.
We are providing transport.
Yeah, sure.
We are going to,
And
we are making special arrangements.
yeah, thank you very much and appreciate it. Let us all go and, you know, comfort people from Kasese.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
So members will be going, will get transport and accommodation. On the rest of things beyond transport and accommodation, Honorable Orone Derek will be in charge as usual. Honorable Minister for Tourism, conclude for us. Honorable Kisa, what's, just let me see. Honorable Kisa. Yes.
Zambad.
Oh, yes, yes. Just Honorable Kisa first, then the Minister for Sports.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on a procedural matter. The event that is being organized is going to attract so many people in Rwenzori. And Right Honorable Speaker, I happen to chair a committee in this parliament that is mandated under the presidential initiative to fight HIV and end it by the year 2030.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker,
It's very important.
want it to be procedural right to implore the minister and all the organizers to include messages in all the activity that is going to take place there, and equally get all the instruments to ensure that the messages talk about ending HIV by the year 2030. This is a very serious matter, and we have only a few years to, around 3 years to the end of 2030. So I wanted to raise as a procedural matter so that this House gives an instruction to all organizers to ensure that all activities organized in such a way must carry the message if we are to end HIV by 2030. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, but I doubt your aim was just on carrying the message. I know you very well, Honorable Kisa. But that's a very important message. But again, just remind you, really, if you know you want to participate in a marathon, then you should take a break from some activities, especially related to Kisa's area. I'll pick you on the road. Yes, Honorable Zambari, and confirm that you're...
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity to respond to the Minister's statement. And I want also to thank the Minister for laboring to give us an update of this wonderful marathon. we all confirm and agree that this is a very recognized marathon, both domestic and internationally. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm I will also be part of those that are going to attend. Thank you so much. But I want also to ask...
no, this is not attending, it's participating.
Yes, I'm going to participate. But I want also to ask the Minister that, having notified us about the importance of this wonderful marathon, the infrastructures that the government is going to put in place, we want you to address this August House about your readiness in traffic management, the ambulances that are going to help us, because, for example, some members that are going to participate, you never know what is going to happen. The ambulances, the traffic management, how the people of Kasese are prepared, the security, how are they going to, welcome us? I think those are key issues. For us, sometimes we are scared of the SFC, so those issues need to be addressed on the floor of Parliament, so that even those in Kasese, when they happen to see people, when they happen to see the security, they are not scared that something strange is coming, but something important that is going to develop their place, that is going to develop their country, is coming to their region. I thank you, Right Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable. This will be your chance to outrun the SFC this time. And I think we also need confirmation that if Honorable Baram comes, people don't run away. He will have just come to participate in the marathon. So it's having fun, but I'm very sure the Minister is going to coordinate with Mr. Amos Wekesa, using public media to give more details about such arrangements of health and safety, traffic management and all that. They'll be informing the public.
Participants who can challenge us. And for your information, Honorable Azza is joining us as Minister of Tourism. We've already listed him. Honorable Speaker, as Honorable Gwanga said, this is not just about running, it's about the opportunities that are available. I know there is going to be an economic boom in Kasese, and for all members of Parliament. There are many opportunities. Right now we are grappling with the issues of accommodation because the numbers are too big. For the MPs from Kasese, we are already using Airbnb. Encourage your people who have good homes, we can use them for accommodation of the teams because the hotels are not enough to accommodate the people. And as an investment opportunities for member of Parliament, all members of Parliament here, you can invest in lodges. UA is giving out free concessions for those ones who want to build hotels and lodges in Markshan Falls National Park. Also, there is an opportunity to do roadside stopovers. Roadside stopovers include restrooms, coffee shop, souvenirs. So the people from Kasese can organize and sell their crafts. That's a good opportunity because there's going to be mammoth crowds. And finally, about the tourism roads, I would like to inform the member that this financial year, government is very committed on working on the tourism roads. They have been budgeted for. We are working with the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Works to ensure that these roads are in good shape. We are equally concerned as a Ministry of Tourism, but it's work in progress. I thank you.
Thank you. No, Honourable Minister, the issues we are playing, because, yeah.
Right, Honourable Speaker, just 1 minute on the role of other stakeholders, particularly the government agencies. I want to confirm that the government is fully committed in ensuring that we support this marathon like we have done before, because it's not the first time. This is the third edition. So if we talk about the role of the inter-agency coordination, we are working closely with Mr. Amos Wekesa to ensure all the requirements in terms of security, in terms of the roads which are going to be used, in terms of the hospital, ambulances, in terms also of mobilizing the community and local government. And that's why you see the members of parliament are fully mobilized and they are working with us in ensuring that. The other issue is on the issue of the training facility. Like it has clearly been said, as the Minister of Education and Sports, we have already mapped up the country in what we need to put where. We have done the high altitude training center in Kapchora as part of the one area. Mount Rwenzori and the Rwenzori is our second area because of the plan we already have based on the natural physicality, the way we were born. Some of us, like me and Honorable Chon, we are known for short distance running. And that comes to me to address the question. I was addressing myself to the area of marathon. The Elgon Sebei has proven as of now that they are the best marathoners we have in the country. It does not mean that there are no other people who have won other medals, but for the marathon, it's Sebei. Secondly, I am also cognizant of the fact that you yourself and many other Ugandans have won medals on behalf and represented this country, and we commend you and we wish you well. But my urge is to call upon, my urge is again to reactivate the people of Rwenzori. Can we get back to the track and win more medals in terms of marathon, 10,000? Right now, Speaker, there's a special talent. I need him to bring him to you. There's a boy who has he competed in the World Athletics competition in Oregon. He's a Muhororo from Rukunjiri. It's not easy to get a talent in track events in that part of Ankole or Kigezi.
Who told you? Hey man, just I think, Honorable, the route you've taken, okay. Thank you, Honorable Peter. I've been working very, very closely with Mr. Amos Wekesa, with Honorable Peter Gwang, with the team from UTB, especially Mr. Ronnie Kawamara, and the team from National Council of Sports, Mr. Tashobia and Dr. Ourar, on this issue. And really, I'm excited to see that colleagues are promising to participate. It's putting us on the map internationally, an internationally recognized marathon. Amos has put in all he could. You know, the man has mortgaged all he could, because the requirement of running such a marathon is so huge. Even the money we've given him is a drop in the ocean. You know, it's mainly going on prizes. So having such a patriotic Ugandan putting in all his, effort, sure, we need to appreciate him. And I was telling the minister that why don't you give him also, why don't you partner with him? We have the Kampala Marathon, you know, a much bigger Kampala Marathon, because these are people who have proved themselves. This Honorable J.B. Tubusime has been traveling the world to run marathons, you know. So I'm really, really happy. Now, honorable colleagues, let's go to another item, and we shall first sort out item number 4, because I want to give, it's just for laying papers, because I want us to give enough time to the statement on rural electrification in the country. So I will amend the order paper on item number 4, so that we can receive the Charter for Fiscal Responsibility and we'll refer it to the relevant committee for work. Clerk?
Item 4 on the other paper, laying papers. 1, report of the Auditor General on the investigation report on allegations of financial and administrative impropriety in the Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA.
Yes. Now, colleagues, on that item, I received a letter from Bachirana and company advocates who are saying this matter is in court, we shouldn't lay it on the table. I said, I think these lawyers, I don't know. You know, the sub judice rule is on discussion. Okay? Not on laying. Laying does not mean now. How shall we work for sure? Eh? You get it? So these lawyers think now they are going to start even writing letters, don't do this, don't do this. Come on. Yeah, I think Uganda Law Society should prevail over their members on some of these issues. Okay? So this is a report. It's a very critical issues of accountability. If you don't want it to account, please find another way, not writing letters to Parliament. Not allow. So I will allow it to be laid, and the Commissioner, Susan Abeja. Procedure, just procedure.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. And this matter, when I saw it on the order paper, I also did try to read Rule 75, that is on sub judice. And when you go to Part 4, a member alleging that the matter is sub judice shall provide justification to show that sub rule 2 and 3 are applicable. So I also had the preview of looking at a letter and the matters before court. And Right Honorable, I have
now, Honorable, a letter which is not written to you, not copied to you, it is copied to the Deputy Speaker, it is written to the Speaker, copied to the Deputy Speaker and the Clerk of Parliament. Where did you get it from?
Right Honorable, the matter that is happening actually is not a public secret. It's all over news.
No. You've said you have my letter.
Yes, it's one of the things I saw online.
So
that is why I took interest. And
kind of Honorable, take your seat. Documents of the Speaker are documents of the Speaker.
Right Honorable, I'm not talking about the.
Please, kindly. Please, Honorable. Okay? I was in my office. Get it, Honorable? I was in my office. If you got a document of that nature, no, you've referred it. You've said, yes, you've referred it. It's you who has referred it. Okay? So, when you're going to refer to documents, because this is not your document. I just received it, okay? So I've not yet authorized that it goes to anyone. No, he has said the letter I've talked about. Yeah. So, but anyway, honorable colleagues, on laying of papers. Laying of papers is not, it cannot be an issue of debate, cannot be an issue of action, okay? I have said something very, very clear, okay? And I ruled on it properly. We are laying, and I will determine at a later stage whether the matter is sub judice or not. But I must first receive it. Please, Commissioner. No, Honorable Masawa, take your seat. Yeah, Honorable Masawa, kindly take your seat. Yeah. I don't know which interest you have in the matter. Please. Honorable Beja. Honorable Masawa, take your seat. Okay? Yeah. I need the report of the auditor. The Auditor General was assigned to audit. Let us receive the document. Otherwise, when it is in my office, it is mine. The House has not yet received it. I want members to receive it. Please, Honorable Abeja.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. According to Rule 32 of the Rules of Procedures, I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General on the investigation report on allegations of financial and administrative impropriety in the Insurance Regulatory Authority. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The report is referred to the committee on COSASE. Okay? I'll be guiding the committee. Now, honorable colleagues, no, please take your seat. Abdara, I'm not allowing procedure. Yeah. Now, honorable colleagues, I have seen a lot to do with insurance regulatory authority. He wrote in the papers. A committee allowing two people, one saying I'm the ED, CEO, is this CEO, what? Please, okay? So Auditor General has done work. I give it COSASE, and I've also alerted our technical team to study and guide, and we shall be guiding COSASE according on how the report can be. Otherwise, when the report is still in my office, it's not yet a document of Parliament until it is laid on table and we own it, all of us. Then those rules of sub judice, what, complaints, then will come. We shall guide. Next.
Item 4, laying papers, charter of fiscal responsibility.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you so much. Elections have ended. Section 4 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 171, requires the minister responsible for finance, not later than 3 months after the first sitting of Parliament after general election, to submit to Parliament for approval a charter for fiscal responsibility. The same section of the PFM Act specifies that an economic and fiscal update be submitted to Parliament alongside the charter for fiscal responsibility. In accordance with those provisions, I beg to lay on table, Right Honourable Speaker, the Charter for Fiscal Responsibility, financial years 2026/27 to financial year 2030/31. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the economic and fiscal update dated August 2026 in support of the Charter for the Fiscal Responsibility. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, this is a very, very critical document. Government's commitment on how it will be handling fiscal issues. So I refer it to the Committee on Budget to report back within 40. Oh, Committee on Finance. Let me consult the clerk. Yeah, it's when Urgorobi was the chairman budget committee, it used to be referred to budget. You in both? Yes. Yeah. So I'm referring it to budget. Okay. Yeah. The committee on budget studied the chart. I've been guided by the clerk. That's why I had it concerned. Yeah. I refer it to the committee on budget for processing, reporting back, so that we can have a robust debate around it before we approve commitments. Yes, Honorable Nsamba.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. And I would like to begin by thanking the Minister for fulfilling the constitutional obligation of submitting the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility. But Right Honourable Speaker, this is a serious matter that we should always pick interest in. They submit it, but they never follow it. And for me, Right Honourable Speaker, in the way we move, if we could only find a way to ensure that government moves according to that Charter of Fiscal Responsibility, then it will do us good, so that it is not just a matter of fulfilling a legal obligation and they just ignore it thereafter. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's for noting. Okay, it's for noting, but because Rule 86 won't allow us to anticipate that way. Let's be positive that this time it will be followed. But maybe Honorable Gorby, you seem like you want to say something about that for the record?
I'm wondering, Mr. Speaker, where is picking that evidence from? Because you could have minor. We are moves. Despite the challenges we had at the beginning of the previous charter, and we lost about 2 years, but we did our best to make sure that we remain within the confines of the fiscal rules laid out in the charter.
Honorable Mudimi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to draw attention of the Minister to Section 6 of PFMA, deviations from objectives of Charter for Fiscal Responsibility, where the Minister may, with the approval of Parliament, deviate. But we have been here and we have not seen any report. And Honorable, we have been together in this.
What if he did not deviate?
No, and he has said it that same for COVID, we are supposed to report to the House.
Yeah, I remember we had a debate on that in relation to our debt to GDP ratio. Okay, where we had gone beyond the threshold that had been proposed, approved in the charter. Yeah. But honorable colleagues, you see, that's why I invoked Rule 86 on anticipation. Because my thinking is, in the committee processing this charter, they will also review the performance, okay, and incorporate it in the report, and we shall debate all those issues. So that's where we will put the minister task to explain why ABCD was done outside the confines of the charter. So next item.
Item 3, statements by ministers on Roman 2, rural electrification in the country.
Yeah, now, Honourable Minister, you put in this colleagues, the statement was uploaded. If we are to say he reads all of it the way it is, we will not have time for debate. So I would propose that, Honourable Minister, you summarize, okay? And then we get more time for debate. Yeah. Because he uploaded it, I hope members read. Like page 1, you know, you just go straight. You can jump page 1, which I read through. No, page 2. Yeah, page 1.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
You go on 3. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm presenting a comprehensive status report on the performance of rural electrification program after the mainstreaming of the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, into the ministry as a Department of Rural Electrification. You have this uploaded, and I'm not going to read it verbatim. I will get a summary. As an introduction, honorable members, during during RAPEX, one of the agencies that was rationalized was Rural Electrification Agency, and was actually taken back to the ministry to create a department of rural electrification. And the key elements that arose in the creation of the department, 3 subdivisions were created. 1, Rural Electrification Initiatives Design Division. This is a a division which is responsible for designing the projects and writing various projects for rural electrification. Number 2, Rural Electrification Implementation Division. This one is a division which is responsible for implementation of the various projects which are designed by number 1. 3, Service Territory and Connections Division. This is a division which is responsible for being there in the rural areas and ensuring connections are done. Page 2, background. As part of the process of mainstreaming REA in the ministry, Parliament on 8th September 2021 resolved that the funds that had been appropriated in the financial year 2021-2022 under Vote 123, Rural Electrification Agency be transferred to Vote 17. Vote 17 is a Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. Subsequently, the funding totaling to 321.31 billion was transferred to the ministry, of which 15 billion was wage, 16.88 billion was non-wage, recurrent, and Uganda shillings 128.14 billion was development, and Uganda shillings 160.83 billion was external funding of that money. Based on the ministerial statement, GOU Development Fund budget for rural electrification from 2017 to date is provided as you see on the table. I'm not going to dwell on the table, you'll read on that. The next table is performance of the development budget for financial year 2025-2026 is also provided in the next table. You look at it. The estimated cost of construction of 1 kilometer of medium voltage, which is very critical when we are talking about electrification, is estimated at 100 million. 1 kilometer of medium voltage, where you see the 3 wires, is estimated at that 100 million. 1 kilometer of low voltage line, this is the line which takes electricity to your house, is costed at 70 million per kilometer. An installation of a 50 kVA transformer is costed at 20 million shillings. That's the cost of connecting electricity and taking it to your house. There is a medium voltage, there is a low voltage, and then there is a transformer to make it happen. Electrifying a load center that is 10 kilometers away from existing grid is estimated to cost 1 billion shillings. However, the unit cost comes down as economics of scale increase and the risk of delayed payment to contractors reduced. The modus operandi of projects, including power lines, is that contractors use funds, equity or loan, to progress works and reimbursed upon submission and verification of corresponding invoices. Due to inadequate budget coupled with delayed releases, Ministry is constrained to maintain contractors working continuously. There must be a budget, or else we shall be accused of creating arrears. This report therefore provides information on 1, status of projects that were ongoing at the time of mainstreaming the Rural Electrification Agency into the ministry. 2, status of new projects initiated at the ministry which are under implementation. So I'm talking of history, what was there, and completed projects, and then we are looking at those which are going on. 3, status of new projects being developed by the ministry. One of the divisions is responsible for writing those projects, and Right Honorable Speaker, you actually have been asking, get a unit which writes projects. We have a division. And 4, challenges being faced and mitigation measures thereafter. I'm not going to go through these projects one by one. I will allow you time to read. Status of projects that were ongoing at the time of mainstreaming the Rural Electrification Agency. 1, the Uganda Electrification Access Projects, UREP, funded by African Development Bank. This project was onboarded on 4th November 2015 through the Ministry of Finance. And the total budget for that project was $100 million, with African Development Bank and protocol agreements with the same bank acting on behalf of the EU African Infrastructure Trust Fund for a grant of euros 11,205,000 for the implementation of the Uganda Electricity Access Project. The loan became effective on 26 January 2016. The initial closing date for the grant was 31st December 2020, and the loan closed finally in March 31st, 2026. This project progress, 6 out of 11 power lines that were ongoing at the time of mainstreaming of REA into the ministry have since been completed and commissioned, and all consumer connections under this project have been undertaken. The project has contributed to the construction of 1,780.59 kilometers of medium voltage. You can now reflect the cost of 1 kilometer considering this length. And then it has also completed 2,646.53 kilometers of low voltage. Here you can actually compute the cost that was put down. Networks, 6 kilometers of submarine cables. Kalangala is now connected to the grid, and it's this project that delivered that installation. Installation of 981 distribution transformers. This is what takes electricity to your houses. Connection of 141,400 new electricity consumers were brought on board. Details of areas covered by Europe is in Annex, which is on table, Annex 1. You will refer to the annexes which have been provided. Second project, bridging the demand-supply balance gap through the Accelerated Rural Electrification Program. This is a project commonly known as Sub-County Project. The government of Uganda entered into a loan agreement with Exim Bank of China to finance the implementation of Accelerated Rural Electrification Program, aimed at bringing the gap between electricity supply and demand at a total cost of 212 million US dollars. The project that closed on 3rd April 2024 contributed to a construction of 3,202.46 kilometers of medium voltage lines and 6,827.8 kilometers of low voltage lines, alongside the installation and commissioning of 1,744 distribution transformers. As well as 180,000 new electricity consumers got connected through these projects. The details of the coverage of this project, I refer you to Annex, which is Table 2, 3, 4, and 6. That has been provided in the report. The project closed without compensating any of the project affected persons due to a budget shortfall of 38 billion Uganda shillings. And this money is supposed to have come from government of Uganda funding. Project number 3, project funded by the World Bank, Energy for Rural Transformation Phase 3, commonly known as ERT3. The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, signed a loan agreement of US dollars 135 million with the International Development Agency for the implementation of the Energy for Rural Transformation Phase 3 project. The loan became effective on 31st March 2016 and closed on June 30th, 2023. At the time of loan closure, 14 of the 21 planned line extensions, comprising of 1,124 transformers, had not yet been completed. This resulted in an outstanding government of Uganda obligation of Uganda shillings 65.5 billion. The outstanding works have since been fully completed, and all 1,124 transformers have been installed and commissioned. To address part of the outstanding obligations, the ministry provided for a budget of 45 billion in financial year 2025-2026 as arrears, and Uganda shillings 32.5 billion was released. We asked for 45 billion, but only 32.5 billion was released. The ER3 project has contributed to installation of 2,025 kilometers of medium voltage network and 2,956 kilometers of low voltage lines, alongside the installation of 1,243 transformers. Details of this project you will refer to Annex 6. Project number 4, construction of rural electrification project in 6 districts of Uganda, funded by Kuwait Fund. On 8th October 2016, the Republic of Uganda signed a loan agreement with Kuwait Fund to finance grid rural electrification project in 6 districts of Uganda. The loan became effective on 29th January 2017, and the last drawdown date was 31st December 2027. The project total cost is US dollars 11.55 million, inclusive of taxes. The project consists of the following: A, Lot 1A, construction of rural electrification schemes in Kiriandongo, Kibale, Nebi, Gulu districts. The contract worth US dollars 5,385,440.3 was completed and commissioned in December 2022. Lot B, construction of rural electrification schemes in Bushenyi, Mitoma, Rukungiri, Kasese districts. This contractor faced financial challenges and was unable to complete the works due to COVID-19 associated challenges. The ministry has since procured contractors to complete the works, and implementation has since resumed. It is envisaged that the works will be completed in December 2027. The details of this project, I refer you to Annex Table 17. 5, grade densification project funded by KFW. The government of Uganda, represented by Minister of Finance, on behalf of Minister of Energy, signed a grant agreement of euros 10 million with the Federal Republic of Germany, presented by KFW, Frankfurt AM, Main, on 22nd December 2015. Several schemes were implemented as detailed in Annex Table 8, 9, 10 in the annexed pages, and were all commissioned by December 2024. It means that project was also delivered fully. 6, Government of Uganda funded projects. Construction of Musisi B substation and power hydropower project in Kibale district. The project was implemented using the Government of Uganda funding at a contract sum of 35 billion Uganda shillings under 2 lots, and the status is provided here below. I will not go to read this. I give you time to study that. 6.2, rural electrification project funded by Government of Uganda, packaged in 8 lots. The project was implemented with GOU funding at a contract sum of 126 billion under 8 lots, and the state 4 lots contracts were completed and commissioned after the mainstreaming of REA into the ministry. B, 2 contractors faced COVID-19 related challenges and could not complete the projects. The scope of these 2 contracts have since been retendered out, and new contractors are being engaged by the ministry. Details of areas of cover under 8 lots projects is provided in the annex or in table 12. Rural electrification projects funded by Government of Uganda, packaged in A, 4 lots. The project is being implemented under 4 lots, with the Government of Uganda funding amounting to 75 billion Uganda shillings. However, inadequate and delayed cash releases have constrained the ministry's ability to make timely payments to contractors, resulting into slow progress. Some of the poles which you see standing arise from the slow releases of money to enable the contractors to complete the projects. The load centers covered under this project are presented in Annex Table 13. Non-gate-fit hydropower plants and rural electrification projects in the environs of gate-fit projects located in Bujubujo, Bunyangabu, and Kasese district, funded by the Government of Uganda. A project valued at 9.8 billion was packaged for implementation under Government of Uganda funding to provide electricity access to communities located around the mini hydropower plants and power evacuation lines developed under Gate-Fit program. The project was developed to address electricity access gap arising from design of the Gate-Fit projects. The interconnecting lines used to evacuate power from the mini hydropower plants to the existing UETCL or umeme substations are dedicated evacuation lines, and therefore were constructed without distribution transformers. So this where again you see the lines standing, the wires are on, but because we don't have transformers, the lines look stranded. Consequently, the communities along these lines, despite providing well leaves for the power infrastructure, were not able to access electricity. So that explains, when you go to that region, some of the lines which seem to be complete, but they don't have transformers. The project was therefore designed to bridge the gap by providing the necessary distribution infrastructure to connect these communities to electricity. Most of the mini hydropower plants covered under this initiative are located in the districts of Bojibojo, Kasese, and Kabarole. The scope of this project is actually given in Annex Table 14. So I'll now go to new projects. New projects commenced by the ministry after the mainstreaming of RARE. Government of Uganda funded projects. Rural electrification project funded by Government of Uganda, packaged in 7 lots. The project is funded entirely by the Government of Uganda and is being implemented under 7 lots with a total contract value of 145 billion, covering various districts across the country. It was designed as a successor to Government of Uganda 8-lot project and the 4-lot projects inherited from RARE. The project is currently in 2nd year of implementation. However, progress has been very slow due to budgetary constraints. Although the ministry made advance payments to contractors amounting to approximately 30 billion, several invoices for works completed remain outstanding due to inadequate budget provisions and releases. Contractors have resumed work after some payment was done immediately after the budget was read. 35 billion was released after the budget was approved, and we had to spend that money because the contractors and the invoices had already been processed.
Now, Honourable Minister.
Yes.
I was making a proposal, I don't know whether colleagues agree, that this is a document we have, okay? I'm seeing we are closing at 4:55, meaning I would have around only 1 hour, 10 minutes of debate. I was proposing, colleagues, since we have it here, it is fully captured on the Hansard, the way it is as a report, the way the minister has submitted it for record purposes. We fully capture it so that we save time for debate. Otherwise, the minister is going to present and then we don't debate. Would you, colleagues, would you agree with me on that? So, yeah. So now, Minister, clerk, capture the report of the minister fully, okay, on the Hansard for record purposes. And then we start the debate. And I remember that time I was supposed to start with Honorable Fungaro. Yeah, start, Honorable Fungaro. Debate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable
Followed
Speaker.
by Nankabira, Angula, Naki, Oshaba, Samba. Yeah, just, I'm going to pick you, Honorable colleagues. I think let's use 2 minutes each, okay, so that we can take as many as possible.
Okay. Thank you, Right. Honorable Minister, thank you for this information. Fungaro Caps Hassan, once again from Obongi constituency. We are glad with this scaling up project for extension of electricity, scaling up electricity connectivity in Uganda. But what is questionable is your strategy. There are areas in Uganda which have not yet received electricity in their districts. There are areas which have not which have received, but the extent to which the connection is made is very low. That's where I think the word scaling up fits, extending from where it is to other areas. But specifically a place like Obongi, doesn't this government feel ashamed to leave us behind forever? How can people make progress and Obongi remains behind like this? My brother Honorable, now that you're here, you are my witness. You've been there. My prayer is this: once we have chosen to do something, let's do it well, do it complete, and make sure that we finish the projects which are put on time. Secondly, there are areas where money is put for us people who are in the marginalized areas, people left behind. You are told that there's something there for you, but at the end of the day, the time expires before the work is done. I pray that this time round, electricity is taken to Obongi within the time and within the money which has been provided. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Obongi also hasn't.
Thank you. Now, Clark informed me that the annexes are not uploaded, yes, with the details. So I know it's heavy, but let us upload them. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I had added on Angura, Anaki.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, where we stand today with a country coverage of only 24% of electricity, which is informing the high tariff, and with our vision 2040, then we cannot be there. Right Honorable Speaker, this House needs to come out and support the electrification of the country. The minister has been reading in his report where projects funded by government of Uganda, contractors mobilized, but they have already certificates, but the government has no money to pay. We need to agree as a House that the ministry presents the overall budget that would lead this electrification of this country at least to 70%. Once that is done, then we are talking. Today the energy losses are 19%, which means before you use power, you are paying for 18% of what you have not consumed. Why? Because of vandalism. Number two, the rural electrification lines that they are handing over to the distributor, where there are no connections and low connections, and power is not stored, and the transformers are already excited with power. It means it is leading to energy losses plus the transmission losses. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, is the issue of vandalism. We have done a stride to do some connections, but vandalism is taking us back. We need also to pronounce.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, I've been informed that the annexes are also uploaded. So they are separate. Okay, so you check on our fresco. Okay, I can see some colleagues have already seen them. So check on our fresco. You'll get the annexes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Minister for the statement, but I want to request this House. All of us here are yearning to have power connected to our communities. To achieve the tenfold agenda, to achieve socioeconomic transformation, to achieve growth centers to be able to support us in production value addition, we need power. I want to request that we put emphasis in supporting our new young kid, UEDCL. UEDCL has come in, has taken a big network from Umeme, but there is a need to support them. These projects that are hanging left and right, are also constrained because of resources. You've heard of GOU. GOU projects are not moving. You've heard of projects that are donor funded. They also need counterpart funding. We are not able to move. So until the government takes a deliberate position, one, on counterpart funding, when we get funds from donor partners, they should actually come with a component of counterpart funding for those that require compensation. Otherwise, GOU is constrained because of many challenges, and for that reason, UEDCL will continue to have pressure if we don't support it. Then secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, there is a problem. UMEME used to procure its accessories through the private sector. But now UEDCL is constrained because of the long processes of procurement. We need to look into that if we are to support this service sector, not to have...
Thank you. Honorable Nakiyi. Then,
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Then Honorable Bakashaba, and then Honorable Ronnie.
My name is Julius Nachi, MP for Budadiri East in Sironko District. From the Minister's presentation, it is very clear that most of these projects are funded by debt. Now, my concern is we are acquiring debt while we are not implementing the projects on time. So the country is paying interest on loans while the intended purpose, because the purpose was to create infrastructure which would generate more revenue for our country. But when we delay, we end up paying interest on loans while the interest is not generating, while the projects are not generating revenue for our country. So I'm urging ministries to ensure that they implement projects on time so that the projects can now contribute to our economy, then we can pay back the loans. Secondly, national debt is going to be covered or paid by all Ugandans. It is important that this power reaches as many villages as possible, because even those who do not have power will still pay the debt while they have not benefited from the service that the debt was acquired for. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Bakashaba. Then Honorable Ronnie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Christopher Bakashaba is my name. Honorable Minister, you've been reading your report, but really, in Imbarara City, where I come from, Mr. Speaker, we don't have electricity. And he has not mentioned, he's been just mentioning rural, village. No, there is no order, Mr. Speaker. Allow me, really, those people, they voted.
Honorable, speak for your people. You're
Yes.
protected.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Really, Mr. Speaker, in Imbarara City, we don't have power. In the Harwe, in Kachika, we don't have power. And why don't we have power? It's just here reading rural, village, rural. Now, Minister, what are you really reading? You are reading past tense only. Honorable Minister, you created these cities, you have to give them services. Kindly, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me, but also put him on pressure such that he can give us power. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, I'm a resident in Honorable Bakashaba's constituency, so I know what he's talking about. Yeah. Yes, it's true. Parts of Umbara City don't have. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honorable, I've heard the report from the Minister, but I also want to say I'm also disappointed with the Minister. Right Honorable, from 2022, the time I had the by-election, the Honorable Minister sent a team from the ministry, and they did a survey in my constituents. They also went ahead, did a survey in the other 3 remaining counties in the district of Palisa. And after that, 2 years passed. Himself seated here he came with a team to launch the power project in my constituency, in my sub-county, in my parish. And that was almost affecting me to return back to Parliament. And every time you go to him, he has a song called Next Week, Next Week, Next Week. So maybe today is now a served man. I want to hear from him, confirming to me when my people from Palisa are getting the power. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I do Nakasekeno, then I come to Cassandra here. Now, just wait a bit. So, colleagues, today I had a meeting with the speaker, okay, and we were discussing the challenges in terms of service delivery. So we've identified sectors. We identified energy, that's electricity, water, health, education, roads. Okay, those service ministries. And we've agreed that we shall give each one a day so that all of you can present your issues. Okay, because most of the issues you have are around this. So take heart. If we don't finish today, we shall carry it over to Tuesday. But we must continue debating this issue, and you must present your issues, and they go on record until they are exhausted. Okay? Yes, Nakasekenos.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the presentation. If we are talking about rural electrification, I think my constituency is in the best setting to talk about this. Now, here we are talking about, if we talk about extension of electricity. For us in my constituency, we have got electricity infrastructure and we do not have power. So I think this is something very important, Honorable Minister, that whereas we are spending a lot of money as a country, extending electricity infrastructure in different areas, we need to be also concerned about the service of power in those areas. Particularly in my area, if you go towns of Chinoni, Chinyogoga, Ngoma, yes, we have got electric lines. If you go there, the government will report there is electricity. But we have taken about 1 month, no electricity. And particularly for the interest of the minister, when we report UDCL, they bring transformers, and these transformers take barely 3 days, then they are spoiled. Then they replace, and then after 3 days, they are spoiled. So I think it is something of interest that we investigate where they are sourcing these transformers from. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Nsamba, Honorable Tebandeke. Yes. No. UPC here. Ocheng? Yes. Colleagues, I'm going to pick you. I'm going to give you a chance. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to state that it was not a very right decision for government to close Rural Electrification Agency. Right Honourable Speaker, many MPs previously lost elections because of power lines that were never worked on. Myself, I have a power line that was being constructed by REA, but when REA, Right Honourable Speaker, closed, they abandoned that project. And the minister has rightly put it that they inherited 321 billion from REA. But REA had planned that money to complete 11 lines. But for them, they only completed 6 out of 11. And the minister should tell us where did they put the other money. Right Honourable Speaker, I have seen in this report he's giving us, he's talking about a Europe project. URIP, Right Honorable Speaker, started in 2016, closed this year in March. Now, in URIP, there was 35 billion. The ministry was supposed to pay project affected persons. Government raised 17.6 billion, and a donor gave out 13.4 billion. But Right Honorable Speaker, they only paid up to the tune of 14 billion. Now the 28 billion they are looking for in URIP 2 is to pay project affected.
Now, Chair Park, why don't you, now this is under you, why don't you use your position under Park Central, okay, to do for us a very good report on these issues, and we debate it here, because I'm sure the Auditor General must have raised them.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we've just met this agency of energy under Park, and the information I'm giving this House, I needed the House to debate with knowledge, because I've had a member, Right Honorable, for example, saying that the government has not supported UEDCL. Yet the government just allowed UEDCL to borrow 477 billion. And UEDCL, still up to today, has not solved the issue of power outage across the country. Now the problem is not only money. The problem is bigger than money. Now I heard the Minister, Right Honorable, talking about giving excuses of COVID as the part of the reason why some power lines were abandoned. That is to us politicians, and it is easy for us to believe. But Right Honorable, when you were engaging the contractors, they were contractors that fulfilled and delivered projects during COVID. Now for us to come and somebody gives us an excuse that COVID, when other contractors delivered on this project, Right Honorable, it is just a mere excuse that the minister need only not to accept about this. Right Honorable.
Thank you. Yeah. Honorable, we shall have a chance to discuss that report. I had allowed Honorable Tewandeke.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
UPC, Oche.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have 3 issues which I have not heard from the Minister's report. One, what causes about the shortage and the scarcity of the connection materials? Because during UMEME times, it could contract with the other agencies and the connection. And now electricity distribution is under government entity, but the connection material is a challenge. And according to the guidelines by Electricity Regulatory Authority, the no service connection poles are supposed to be effected within 14 days. But now some companies which UEDCL contracted has already registered clients who have cleared, but outside there, wherever they argue for connection, the claim is no connection materials. What causes about the scarcity, and how should it be addressed? Right Honorable Speaker, another issue is, for lack of a better word, but I would like to call them abandoned projects. We have very many projects that ran a long time ago in our constituencies. Poles were installed, but there are no wires. And it's almost now 2 years. What happens and how should that be addressed? Right Honorable Speaker, I have about 10 villages. That is Chebuye, Rwabiata, Tindiani, Nyondo, Bisakabi Dugala, among others. The poles are there, which consume the taxpayers' money, and the taxpayers are waiting for the wires to get connected, but there is no connection material. So what happens? Yes, information.
Give the way. I think, Honorable Minister, even if we give you all over the country, that vandalization takes train to all the wires we've not connected. Rural electrification was targeting sub-counties. But where you connected now, the poles were cut, the wires were vandalized, you are going back to zero. So the best way is to put up a mechanism, how to protect even what you've put. So we want to know the minister to go an extra mile to sensitize the public. Even.
Thank you, Oche. No, you donated your time. Please, you are very generous, sir. Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Chen Geoffrey, Member of Parliament for Kyoga North and Malata District. First, I want to appreciate the Minister for the report. However, it didn't touch critical areas of power supply. For instance, in Malata District, we have 2 sub-counties with electric poles and wires installed. That is a town council and town sub-county, but without power for the last 8 months. Secondly, within a Malata town, you hardly have power for 2 days in a week. And this has interrupted businesses, affected operations at the health facility, and affected livelihood of the people. Thirdly, Right Honorable Speaker, we have government health facilities in the district without power. For instance, at Namwany Health Center, where you find electric poles and wires moving along the main road, but the facility is without power. And yet the intention of government was to ensure that those are given the first priority. What plan is the minister having and the ministry to ensure that those problems affecting, especially Malata district, is rectified within the shortest time possible to restore livelihood of the people? Thank you.
Thank you. Arua Central, Akorikin.
Right Honorable Speaker, Mzaidi Kemis, once more is my name, Member of Parliament, Arua Central. Honorable Speaker, on average, the national grid connection is at 25%, while West Nile is at 6%, giving out a variance of 19%. Right Honorable Speaker, the World Bank is undertaking projects that targets refugee districts, meaning that the districts that are not hosting refugees and where the refugees are just unregistered like Arua City are not in the benefit of this project. Right Honorable Speaker, out of 500,000 households in Arua, 200,000 is connected. Even in my own village of Wambizavasel, Asuru Tanganyika, power is not there. Right Honorable Speaker, West Nile is the only region where a private entity, Wanereko, that is profit-making, is giving power out. Right Honorable Speaker, the ordinary man is not able to get power. Right Honorable Speaker, West Nile is the only region where there is a high tariff, both industrial and home state. Right Honorable Speaker, electric pole in the West Nile region ranges between 2.5 to 3 million. And the inspection fee that the minister talked of, 23,000 is at 50. And the meter in West Nile cost 700,000. Right Honorable Speaker, the present, I see somebody is disturbing him. Right Honorable Speaker, the present interest of industrialization of this nation, I much believe is not going to be achieved. Right Honorable Speaker, why is the Ministry of Energy, through ERA, approving high tariffs for the people of West Nile? Yet the present manifesto of NRM, that is of industrialization and urbanization, that is related to MDP4, is not going to be achieved. And yet this region gave 80% to the president. Right Honorable.
You see, no, Honorable, in the debate we don't have prayers. Honorable Korikin, here we are debating. Honorable Korikin, followed by Honorable Masaba, followed by Ivrin Insima.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you so much for giving me this chance to speak on this matter, and may God bless you. On behalf of the people of Kapelebiong district, first I want, maybe the minister should understand the spelling of the word Kapelebiong. Because I have labored to read all your documents from page 1 up to page 259. Of all the districts in Uganda, you bother to mention Kapelebiong only once. And in that regard, if there is a district in this country, and indeed a constituency, while other parts of the country may have electric poles, some of us don't even have electric poles. Our problems are different. Let me give you an example. I have, out of 11 sub-counties, I have 8 sub-counties. I don't know. I need to calm down. I need to calm down. The people of Kapelebiong, they have been with us since 1960s. We have never seen electricity in Akoromit. We have never seen electricity in Achinga. We have never seen electricity in Okungur. We have never seen electricity in Alito. The minister is from Teso sub-region. Please, please, minister, consider Kapelebiong district, and may God bless you. Consider my district. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Masaba Karim.
Thank you. Our colleague has calmed down. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. When the colleague from thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. When the colleague from Mbarara mentioned about areas in Mbarara City not having electricity, I saw people laughing, but this is the bitter reality many of the new cities are facing. In order to attain the city status, they had to annex very many rural sub-counties onto the municipalities to give us the city status. You'll find that majority or the biggest part of these cities is still the rural part of the city. And for us in Mbale, Right Honorable, we have a challenge. We have many challenges in Mbale City, majorly concerning these sub-counties that we annexed. We have many contractors and subcontractors who abandoned the projects, who planted the poles. Some of them just dropped them there and didn't connect. And it's unfortunate that many of these contractors are now getting contracts under the electricity scale-up program, because this is a World Bank project where they get money on time. So they abandon the old projects, and yet you're still now prioritizing giving the same contractors money. Why don't they come and fast connect and complete the lines and programs that they started on? Lastly, it concerns the substation in Mbale that serves the Greater Bugisu. Right Honorable, this substation is in a low trains where whenever we get above average rains, we will not have electricity in the city for a week or 2 weeks, because most of this infrastructure end up flooding and they have to do the process of draining and working on it again. So what is the plan on this substation in Mbale? Thank you. I give way for information.
Thank you very much, colleague, for giving this information. Right Honorable Speaker, indeed these cities, government created these cities, but these cities are crying, they are in darkness. In Hoima City, Hoima West that I represent, it's comprised of 9 wards, but out of the 9 wards, it's only one that has gotten around 60-something connection.
As a whip, come and conclude your point. You know he's the only voice here, if we don't give him a chance.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, those other wards, the 9 wards, they are also wondering if they are still in the city, because those city residents are in total darkness. So please, Minister, we are wondering, we cannot develop these cities without power. So please think about these cities. Let's not just create these cities for the sake of having cities. Let these city dwellers feel that they are in city when they are in light. I come from the Alliance for National Transformation. Our symbol is light. Please, you can take the information. Thank you very much.
Honorable Evelyn.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Then Butambara.
Okay. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. For record, I am Nisima Evelyn, the woman member of Parliament for Rwanda District. I would like to thank the Minister for the elaborate report
and most important because UDCL has decreased per unit from 486 to 387. That is a plus. However, Right Honorable Speaker, Mpungu Parish, where I come from, we have absolutely no electricity, no pole. And as the woman MP, I had an opportunity to traverse the entire district, and the sub-counties in Bufundi is to ensure that these areas have electricity, because for us to attain the $500 billion economy, we must have power. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tambara, then Honorable Adiomo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. For record purposes, my name is Mirembe Lydia. I represent the people of Tambala District. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to join members in thanking the Minister for that elaborate report. However, in Butambala District, which is actually an urban district, its coverage is only at 18%. And we also have power lines that have been there for almost 7 years now. So as the country is moving towards the money economy, I want to task the Ministry of Energy to make sure that at least it distributes electricity to our districts, in Butambala in particular, such that we can achieve this. Because to achieve the money economy status as a country, we need electricity as a basic need. Thank you, Right Honorable.
Thank you. Honorable Adiomo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for the statement. But when I look into this statement, Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister, he talked about Lot 1A. He left out Lot 2. And one of the projects in my constituency was under Lot 2. And under that project, as per now, we have the poles, but we don't have wires. I was nearly missing to come back to the 12th Parliament because of power. Because even the next village of Iwororo, Buoma, those are my villages in my parish. As per now, people sacrificed their coffee plantations because they wanted to have power. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I think instead of considering Lot 1A only, they should also consider Lot 2. Then too, Right Honorable Speaker, when you read this statement, I think annexes, they are not downloaded. Because I was trying to check. Maybe it's only on my iPad. So, Right Honorable Speaker, when I see members crying of power, when Jinja District, the original, the mothers of the electricity, we are still crying. Just a few kilometers from Bujagad, from On, from Isimba, and up to now, we are exposed.
Thank you. Dean of Independence. Then, Baseke.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Ngabirano Charles from Rwampara East. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of rural electrification, we have the same problems in Rwampara as mentioned by all the other colleagues of power lines that are not connected. But Right Honorable Speaker, my interest is on one aspect. Right Honorable Speaker, I was with you on the Natural Resources Committee when we were trying to look at how to reduce power costs by mixing the supply business of electricity. One important aspect was that the industrial areas and industrial parks and SMEs for purpose of industrial development should be targeted for cheap electricity. For example, exporting directly from the cheap power lines like wind farms, but also rationalizing the power from Ujagar, which was very expensive. Right Honorable Speaker, as we go into the NDP4 and we go to the 2050, the $500 billion economy, we must look at industrial development. In this country, power for industrial development is very, very expensive. Right, Honorable Minister, I want you to tell us how far did that plan go? Because we discussed it with Excellency the President, it was almost passed, but now we are very quiet about it. Power breakdown are occurring every day. We are going back to square zero. So I would like you to give us a comprehensive plan, especially targeting industrial development, both big industries and small industries. I thank you.
Thank you, Batseke. Then
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Fred Baseke, MP in Tenjeru County South, Kayunga District. Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for the statement. I have quickly gone through the annexes that you have attached and realized that my district, Kayunga District, specifically in Tenjeru South, is left out. Right Honorable Speaker, 7 years ago, we had projects that were undergoing in the constituency. Some of them, they had even placed poles there, but they were abandoned. And Kayunga and Tenjeru South specifically, people were displaced because of Isimba Dam. And we promised them, you accept to have this project because you are going to get power. But as I report now, even when I look at the statement, my constituency is not considered. It seems you think these projects were completed. I want to know from the Honorable Minister. Because I saw you outside, you told me I come to the office. But from what one honorable has said, you keep telling them come, like a political language. I want to raise it here. Ntenjeru South is in Kayunga. We host Simba Dam. We don't have electricity. And moreover, our people offered land, we are not compensated. So I want to hear from you, when shall we get power? When in the statement, it is not mentioned anywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chirumira Serunjoji, then Mugore, Bagore, then Kibanzanga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm a member on the Committee on National Economy, and in 2023 we passed a loan of $608 million to the effect of Uganda Electricity Success Scale-Up Project. And in the previous submission of the Minister, it was clear that the implementation started in 2023 and the completion date is 2027, meaning that there is 1 year towards the completion of this project. But according to the statement he provided last time, the disbursement is at 31%. So the question which I want him to clarify, and maybe going forward, the remaining period of time of 1 year and the disbursement of 31%, are we going to be in position to complete this project? Honorable Speaker, maybe it is high time, because I've had so many members making complaints and complaints. We know REA has been or was in this country for 2 decades, and they had made substantive contribution towards the distribution of electricity in rural areas. Maybe it is high time, Honorable Speaker, we review the impact of mainstreaming of REA into the Ministry of Energy. Because if success in that industry was happening in the past, what is happening now? Maybe, Honorable Speaker, I move a motion without notice, if you can allow, for this Parliament to enact
I don't know that motion.
Honorable Speaker, REA was a government agency that made substantive contribution in terms of rural electrification. It was impactful in our communities, and it was mainstreamed under the Ministry of Energy. 5 years down the road, Honorable Speaker, the impact of the new project has diminished. Honorable Speaker, I want to move a motion for this August House to review the impact of mainstreaming of REA into the Ministry of Energy. I beg to move.
No, Honorable, that kind of motion, what do you want to achieve? Because one, REA was established by a statutory instrument, not an act of parliament. Okay? It was by a statutory instrument. Number two, even if you say, because we review, then in the end, what do we get? Okay? Then, if you said, for example, bring REA, then Article 93 of the Constitution doesn't allow us, because it would have a charge on the consolidated fund. So, honorable colleagues, I would say, let us debate, okay? Let's debate these issues. The minister is taking note, and then we will be, we'll be seeing, we have a committee that is following up. We can make strong recommendations arising out of studies of the committee, okay? It's very tricky, Honorable Chirumira. Maybe I need the member satisfied. What's the issue, Honorable?
Honorable Speaker, I was moving in good faith, but like you've indicated that we're going to make recommendation to that effect, because what all Ugandans want, specifically the people of Luwera and Katikam South that I represent, and those sub-counties that do not have electricity, they want electricity in their villages.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see, issues of rural electrification, I've been following them up strongly. That's why you had the minister saying, I have been on their neck, that they put a project development department, okay? Because most of these electricity projects were were designed by REA. They review the proposals and all that. Most of the constituencies were supported through projects. And that's what I was telling the minister. I said, since REA went, we no longer get projects here. Why don't you do something about it? And he has said that at last they did it, so let's support them. But we have to strongly push on this front. Honorable Serunjoji, then Honorable Bagore.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Minister for that elaborate statement. Through you, Honorable Speaker, I want to inform the Minister that in Bukoma Nsimbi, we have a very different scenario. They sent a contractor who deceived almost everybody from several villages, including my own village, that for government to extend electricity, people had to first wire their houses so that they could prove capacity to have electricity in their houses. So many houses were wired and electricity has never come. So it's a very big problem. It has caused a lot of bad image on the side of government. So I want the minister to inform my people in Bukoma Nsimbi and all the other rural districts whether it is actually a requirement for people to first wire their houses, then electricity is brought to their areas. If not, then somebody should answer. Whoever made people, because they were paying that very contractor. They were assessing households, they could collect money, they wire houses, but we have never seen electricity. Then two, we have a school, Chiriasaka Secondary School, it's a government-aided school. The Minister of Education donated very wonderful computers, but the school has no electricity. So the computers have been lying idle for almost 5 years now. It's actually, the Minister of Education is here. You did your part. Now our colleague, the Minister of Energy, please help us. Those computers are there. Students should be using those computers, but they cannot use them. Then lastly, Honorable Minister, in Bukoma Nsimbi still, as you might be aware, we are...
Thank you. Bagore, then Wunduvujo, then Paparu.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to use this side because I want to speak while looking at my dear Minister for Energy. My name is John Bagole Ngobi. I am one of the few returnees Honorable Speaker, this is my maiden speech. And I request you to give me more time because...
On the state of the nation.
Oh, thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I have a very funny real-life experience about the subject matter on the floor of Parliament. I was here in the 9th Parliament and I went to REA and they helped me take to 2 parishes in my sub-county a line of electricity. When it came to campaigns for the 10th Parliament, my voters overwhelmingly voted for me to come back to the House for the second time. But during the 3rd time, when I attempted to campaign for the 3rd time after failing to take power to some other sub-counties, Mr. Speaker, they voted me out. Now, Honourable Minister, my voters have just pardoned me, and 4 of my sub-counties don't have power. Sincerely speaking, I request you, I am coming to your office tomorrow. 3 of my sub-counties don't have power, and I came back for a mission. They want electricity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other day, your beautiful sister, in a very good voice, was submitting here on the floor of Parliament.
Problems of admiring people of Mitoma. Honorable Chibanzanga, then Honorable Paparo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other day I talked a lot. I wanted the minister and the government to complete the electricity line that they started in 2016. Today I simply want to pose a question as a patriot, Ugandan, and a nationalist. I have any other country apart from this one, and I'm going nowhere. What causes you ministers? What causes government to start a project and you abandon it for 10 years to waste? You start electricity line, you reach in the middle, you abandon it, the wires are stolen, poles are falling. What causes the abandonment of a government project where we have spent money? Isn't that a part of corruption? You abandon a project, it is wasted. I want the answers. The other day I visited a school in my constituency. They are constructing, and it was a directive of a president to give Uganda 4 city schools. Yes, from zero. I visited a school that started in 2017.
No, Honorable Chibanzanga here.
And yet,
please, Honorable, we don't do microphone that way, please. Yeah. Because I wanted to ask you a question that what causes it, former minister? Because I had allowed Honorable Paparu, then, but I know when Chibanzanga was a minister, he would perform. He wouldn't allow. Honorable Paparu, then Honorable Lenia. Then I ask a former minister also, what causes it? Somebody.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Minister for the presentation. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2022 and 2023, for those who were in 11th Parliament, I remember the ministry brought a loan here to be approved. And they designed a nice paper, a nice document, and allocated lines of in each district. And that was one loan that nobody complained about. All of us approved because every district was supposed to get a share. Right Honorable Speaker, for us, we have not gotten any part of that loan that was approved. Right Honorable Speaker, I have a scenario in one of my sub-counties, that is Logri sub-county, where lines were put, poles were put, even wires were put. There's a transformer, but we have not been lit because of one person that the ministry failed to compensate. So we have written, we have gone to the offices, the whole community in a sub-county cannot get power just because of that one person and because the ministry cannot compensate the person. So this is about what a member said here about the timing. And this is a line that has been there for over 5 years, already wired, and we cannot receive power. So, Honorable Minister, I think there's no value for money in this country because you cannot do all that investment and there's no use or benefit to the community about it. Other than that, of course, I have other sub-counties and parishes that are not connected. Let us look into that. I want to thank the government. Finally, West Nile was connected to the national grid. The power is installed.
Thank you. Lenia. Yes. Then I'll do Honorable Chamber Day. I do Dr. Bukenya.
Thank you so much.
I do Olanya.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Then Rowira. Then Kazi. And Okeyo.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Actually, I come from the very same area with my dear sister, Honorable Paparo Lillian. She already represented us. She's from Arua district, and I come from Vora. But just...
Honorable Chambade.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, Amelia Chamba de Maokota North. We have a coverage, energy coverage of about 27.9%. And recently we became part of the Kampala metropolitan area. They have worked on the roads, they have worked on the market, but we have no electricity. So my prayer, Honorable Minister, is that we focus on some of these value addition centers that have been constructed by government, yet have no power. We focus on health centers, schools. Thirdly, what about the alternative energy? For example, like solar energy, wind power. You have not mentioned them in your statement. Otherwise, I thank you so much for your statement. Thank you, Right Honorable Prime.
Thank you, Dr. Bukenya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I also want to thank the Minister for the statement. Right Honorable Speaker, in the late 90s, government of Uganda brought a short line of electricity in Bukuya. And the population, with industrialization, population has grown and people are industrious. So these days we can't survive on that one, and there haven't been significant improvements. To the extent that when you come in some areas, you may think there is no government in Uganda. Why? There are companies or individuals that are generating without licenses from ERA or anywhere. And they're generating, I don't know whether they contribute to vandalism because there is wiring all over. I'm not sure the minister knows. And they sell power. A bulb a day is 6,000. You know we are gold miners, we have some little money, but it's still very expensive. So I'd like to request the minister to consider improving electricity generation in Bukuya. People are no longer working. Whereas government wants us to increase our income, when we all connect our small cottage and small industries, we can't work and we are suffering. So I plead with the minister and the government to come and extend power to us, especially since with the gold that comes out in Uganda, we only compete with Karamoja. So they should do for us a favor or take their responsibility and come and give us more power. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew Aranya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I've read the report, the statement by the Minister in charge of energy. But Right Honorable Speaker, I'm a bit worried. I read an article this morning by one of the preeminent thinkers of ICT, that is Professor Tusubira. And in the statistics, it shows that we're currently exploiting over 85% of hydro. Yet we have more than 45% of households still not covered. So I want to know what government's plan is regarding green energy, because that is what we have in abundance. The potential for solar energy in Uganda is over 5,000 megawatts. So I want to hear from the government what their plan is. If you look at the rural areas, for example, there are some low-hanging fruits. The health centers that just need transformers, the trading center that could actually power so much of our economy. So I want to hear from the minister what their plan is for green energy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Protazio Beti Angora, then Bududa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Protazio Begumisa is my name. MP in Ndorgwa County, East Kabale. I have an issue in Katoche, Chanamera. REA put up electric poles in 2019, 2020, and since then they have never bothered to put the wires to connect the village. The people there are very uncomfortable, and that place is strategic. The current bishop of Kawale, Rushoroza, comes from that village. Even the bishop of Rugarama is from the neighboring village. My own village, Chigata, there is no power. In fact, I have made an attempt to bring power to my village, but for 8 poles, they are charging me 16 million. I don't know how I can be helped. Maybe I can co-share on that amount. Maziwa sub-county is crying seriously because we have 2 dams, Maziwa, the old dam, and Muvumbe Dam. But the villages around the 2 dams don't have power. So people keep wondering, how can we have 2 dams and we don't have power? Please, Mr. Minister, help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Beti Angora,
Thank you very much.
Kazini Bududa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, we are not only pushing you to the wall. You've heard of our cries. The population is crying for electricity. Like some of us, we have walked, we have come to you, we have written. What I want to say is, Honorable Minister, we want the truth from you. Please tell us or give us the solution to these issues so that we can tell our people about electricity connection, because it has gone out of hand. It's very, very important, because we have people who want to do their businesses and income, but there's no hope. Please do give us hope, Honorable Minister. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Iranda.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, whereas my colleagues are talking of poles and wires, for us from the islands of Sigulu, Jaguzi, Bumba, Buvuma, it is music to us. Honorable Minister, I've seen you in your report clearly indicating that 6 kilometers of marine sub-cable was done to Kalangala. And it was supposed to be another 6 to Sigulu and another 4 to Buvuma. What happened to these other marine cable connections to these islands? Right Honorable Speaker, secondly, colleagues, I want to tell you I was one of the people who was hesitant in the last parliament when REA was being mainstreamed. But we were convinced by the then minister and the minister here seated that it is going to do wonders, that the money is going to be transferred from REA and the ministry is going to do wonders to our constituencies. I want to inform you that many of our colleagues could not return because of the poles, the wires that had no electricity. Honorable Minister, we want to return. Please help us.
Thank you, Kazini. Honorable Shiuma, you are coming after Honorable Kazini.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I come from Buhaguzi County, Nichikobe District. Of course, an oil district. And there is a dam that is almost zero distance to my constituency. The dam is called Kabalega. But surprisingly, besides being an oil district, most of the villages, they are not connected with electricity, besides having a dam that is zero distance to my constituency. Then the other thing is I have almost a full village that well connected with poles only, without electricity, without even wires. Then the other trading centers, they are all having wires. Just by passing trading centers and people, we actually benefit from the wires other than the electricity. Honorable Minister, I beg that give us a favor, because we host the resources of this country, which is the oil, which everyone and this parliament is going to benefit. Honorable Pius, you can give information.
You use the same microphone so that your time counts.
Okay, thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker, the dam is talking about is in my constituency. It's on River Wambabia and it's called Kabalega Dam. But it is true, where the station is, there's no single house which is connected. So that's the information I want to give my brother. Thanks so much.
As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I beg that the Honorable Minister perhaps prove this. Give me a team of technical people. I go with them. I show them what I'm talking about right now. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Shiuma, Honorable Mara, Honorable Rowira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Minister, thank you for the elaborate statement. My concern is quite unique and cuts across. This is called, okay, we know it as rural electrification. But remember, there are so many numerous town councils that have come up. So during this connection of this rural, they were not considered by virtue that they are urban. When actually they are not urban, they are also rural. Remember, most of our graduates are concentrated in such small centers. They forge a way across by indulging in several businesses. As we transform the nation, a lot of value addition is needed, but it needs electricity. So my humble appeal to Honorable Minister, remember when UP was beginning, it used to be Bana Bana Basome, but it automatically became Bona Basome. My request is let them all be considered, be them rural, be them urban, let them all be considered. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Mara, Honorable Rowila, Honorable Abdara Chwanuka.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would want to thank the Minister for his report. Right Honorable Speaker, many of my colleagues have talked about uncompleted electricity lines. Some of the projects have been halfway implemented. Right Honorable Speaker, in the 11th Parliament, the Minister sent his team to my constituency to measure lines for rural electrification. And they promised me that they were going to bring in the poles and execute the connectivity. It did not happen. If I wasn't a strong man, maybe I wouldn't have won the last election. Immediately after the election, Right Honorable Speaker, the technical team to take measurements again, a fresh one. And my constituency is saying, are you just simply teasing us, or are you going to take action? when are you going to provide electricity to the lines that you have already measured in Otuge County? I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. In the VIP gallery, we have the honor to host the Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugaru, Archbishop of the Church of Uganda. He is the main celebrant in today's inaugural welcome service for the 12th Parliament, so I won't ask him to give us a blessing from there. I want us to go to the conference center. And he's accompanied by Reverend Johnson Council. The chaplain to the Archbishop, and I agreed with Honorable Bahati that today he will participate in adjourning the House. So So I'll wait for a signal from Honorable Bahati. Yeah. So Honorable Rowira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bahati. Yeah. So Honorable Rowira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for his statement. Honorable Minister, it is good to hear plans of expanding connections, but it is a big concern that where connections have already been made, the power lines are just passing over people, and it takes forever for step-down transformers to be installed. In Porogali sub-county in Pade district, we have a multi-million machinery that was procured and installed by government under CAIP program 6-7 years ago. And there is no power. The machinery is lying there. It was intended to promote value addition, increase the employment opportunities for our young people, and this transformer and this machinery is there. So, Honorable Minister, as a matter of urgency, we request on behalf of the people of Pade district that at least you procure and install a step-down transformer in Poro Ogali sub-county, where we have a machine that has been installed by government. And I think there is problem of coordination between the different ministries, because how do you procure a machine and then you take it, install it where there is no power? It is just there, a white elephant. So there is also need, Right Honorable Speaker, that these ministries really coordinate the service that they give, the services that they give our people. So I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Dara Chiwanuka.
Thank
then
you.
Honorable Kazora.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, specifically in Mukono, during rare time, several people were compensated to pave way for the construction of the electricity lines. People left, rare closed, no lines were ever constructed up to now. We have made several cries to Ministry of Energy. Up to now, they have kept quiet. To Right Honorable Speaker, in the last Parliament, a law was passed to cause more connections in this country. People have paid money. Up to now, no connection have been made in Mukono specifically. Actually, they are doing it selectively. Whoever comes and gives in Kintu Chidogo is the one who is connected. Yet it was meant to reduce the amount from 800 to 470. Up to now, we don't know what is progressing. Honorable Minister, kindly update us on that.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Kazora.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me, even before I talk on electricity, I will come.
That one will be sorted. Please, use your time to do electricity work.
Right Honorable Speaker. Apology. Right Honorable Speaker. This is a very serious concern. Minister for Electricity. 2 years ago, Minister of Natural Resources went and visited Mitoma, and they interested themselves in parts of Nyachizinga, where a big factory was already set for mining industry. But because there was no electricity, the mining industry in Nyachizinga, in Muti, closed completely. There are like 10 factories of coffee. Because of high fuel prices, they are no longer operating. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm that among the MPs who went there, here is a witness. Julia, you can. Yes. Right Honorable Speaker, information allowed.
It is true, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is true in the 11th Parliament, I was in the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources, and we visited the stated place, and it is true that factory was lacking electricity.
Thank you. Honorable Marende.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Shamim Malende for Kampala District. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that presentation. I know the statement is about rural electrification, but in places like Kampala, where power is, we have a problem of load shedding. Power is always on and off, and yet our businesses in Kampala largely depend on availability of power. What is the government doing to fix this problem? Secondly, we have a challenge of the cost of power. When you run a business in Kampala, each bulb in your shop is costed at 200,000 shillings. How can government explain this disparity? Thirdly, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, colleagues. Please, all of you take your seats first. Yeah. Okay. You know, when an important announcement is going to be made, I always want everyone to be calm. Yes, colleagues in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation of district leaders and technical officers from Mitoma district. They are led by the district chairman, Mr. Alex Okanga Karitundu. You can stand up. Yes. We have the former chairman, Mr. Khadija Benon. We have the CAO, Mr. Masereka is here. And we have the chairman, NRM, Mitoma district should be here. Yes, Mr. Moses. So we have district councillors, or district councillors. We have all sub-county chairpersons and mayors. We have the technical arm led by the CAO. You know, I think I'll get more details on the team. Okay? Yes, the RDC. Oh, our RDC. We are the only district that has an RDC who's a PhD holder. Okay? Yes. So, so I want to implore you colleagues. You talk to the minister for the presidency. They give you RDCs of that caliber. Well-educated RDC like that. Honorable colleagues, we usually meet at the beginning of every term as leaders of Mitoma district. We usually come together, we put resources together, we meet and agree on how the district is going to move forward. So that's why we are all here, and they are represented, of course, by your very own here, Thomas Tayebwa, by the very able Major General Kahinda Otafire, our brother Honorable Arthur Kazora, and Honorable Charampe Rebecca, our sister here. Now, the only thing I didn't tell them is that when you come here, you don't clap. So I can hear them. So Sergeant at Arms, please don't do anything to my guests. You didn't brief them very well. So Chairman, Natural Resources Committee. I mean, all these things we are hearing, what's the problem? And what are you doing about it?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to thank the Honourable Minister for the report. And of course, the committees have just been put in place, and we are trying to scrutinize the ministry and see how best we can support it. But of course, Right Honourable Speaker, God works in mysterious ways. While we are discussing the bad spirit of darkness, the Archbishop has also visited. So you need to take Honorable Okasai to be directly prayed for by the Archbishop to cast out all the demons of darkness from him and the ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, in my own simple assessment so far, but also before I became the chairperson, as a country we undertook two serious risks and closer to each other without serious assessments. Right Honourable Speaker, we undertook to absorb rest of UED.
Just conclude.
As a government, without putting any single investment in UEDCL to prepare to absorb the infrastructure of Umeme. What we were literally doing, we were feeding a 5-liter jerrycan with 20 liters. And certainly the 5-liter must burst. And now the indications we are getting, and allow me as I conclude to convey my sincere sympathies to Honorable Okasai for the bashing, because I am sure this is the beginning. This problem will take us not less than 2 years to solve, and that is if we become serious about it. The issue to solve, and that is if we become serious about it. The issue of, in Kazo, I have no electricity to discuss. I can discuss poles, I can discuss wires, I can discuss those things, the accessories. But I will not indulge in power, because at some point I thought the ministry was suffering from constant breaking, like, you know, that eye syndrome where you blink every minute. And I had been tempted to think that they had employed an underage who is praying on the meters, switching on and off, switching. But when I woke up, I told me that it is actually a national problem. So as today's prayer, we must dedicate him and the ministry to see that this matter, God also intervened. Thank you very much, Right Honourable.
Thank you, colleagues. Honourable Chimosha has guided very well. Let's go to dedicate Honourable Kasai to prayer. But Honourable Kasai has tried his level best. I know how he's been going through a lot. Now, colleagues, this is something we can't close now. So I'm going to adjourn the House to Tuesday, and for the seriousness of this matter, we start the House at 10 on Tuesday, so that I give it 3 hours. Okay? I give you 3 hours from 10 to 1 p.m. so that your voices can be heard. Okay? Yeah. So please, I mentioned my RDC that is a PhD holder. Someone was asking me who he is. Is Dr. Pade Kayondo. Dr. Pade Kayondo. So, yeah. He's done very great work. Now, I'm very happy. My people of Mitoma have come late. But I wish they had come earlier because some of them were choosing me. That I'm refusing to complete the lines. I'm waiting, okay, until, elections come. That's when I will bring them as if I'm fulfilling promises. So I wish they could listen, to other areas, okay? So, honorable colleagues, House adjourned to Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's, we are standing over this item, so debate will continue on Tuesday at 10.